Hi folks, it's Mitch from Hard Intentions. I'm in my element, I'm painting. I thought I'd do a little video while I'm painting. I didn't really want to do one today, but somebody brought to my attention some stuff. It actually showed me a video from some other guy's content, this prison stuff. You know, I did an interview with this guy about, the guy's in the prison cell doing an interview with a guy on the street for this YouTube channel. And it kind of pissed me off because, look, I do this YouTube channel for a lot of reasons, alright? There's really not a lot of money in the YouTube channel itself. If you guys are donating through Patreon, we really appreciate that. But I do it to get stories out. People suggested I do it. People seem to like my stories about prison, all of which are based on true stuff, right? The deal is, I don't try to sensationalize prison. I don't try to give up game on what guys are doing that are still in there, things that I did. You know, like I used to smuggle tobacco. I had a cell phone. I don't give up, you know, how I did that. But you know, I use my cell phone to conduct my tobacco business, kind of, you know. But mostly, my cell phone was so I could communicate with my family and my friends. You know, and I could go on the internet and I could see things that I never seen before. You know, like I used to watch board track motorcycle races on YouTube channels and stuff. It just blew my mind that all that stuff was on there. I got busted in 2011, so you got to figure I got about a year's worth of cell phone use. I had a little slider phone. I didn't smuggle cell phones because of reasons like that. This guy's doing an interview in his prison cell thinking he's cool. And this other guy's out here interviewing him because he wants to get more followers and more views on his page and make more money off his YouTube channel. And look, man, I don't think that's cool, because the things they're saying is like, you know, the big homies are all about the dope sack and the money and shit. You're not supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. And I find it real hard to believe that the big homies give a green light to that guy to do that interview with the guy who's an S&Y, you know, guy who paroled from a PC yard. I find it hard to believe that, active prison gang members would give a green light for the guy to do an interview with that guy. And he's talking about, the reason of violence is calming down certain areas, and I don't really know exactly what he's talking about because I just caught part of this interview. But he's saying, you know, it's all about the dope sack and the money, and they don't want their money interfered with, and etc., etc. But, you know, you're not supposed to talk about that shit. I mean, it's bullshit, dude. I make my money off artwork, and all you great people that buy my T-shirts and stickers and stuff, you know, that's, trying to sensationalize stuff and go that extra mile and get an interview with a guy in a prison cell talking about stuff that's giving up game. I'm not going there, man. I don't need subscribers that bad. And, this YouTube channel's cool because I get to interact with a lot of really cool people on the comments and emails, and people get at me on my Instagram and direct message me. I dig that. It's cool. And people give suggestions, like my homeboy said, hey, what's it like to get, a bus ride? So I did a video about what it's like to get a bus ride. I don't have any gimmicks, I don't have any sensationalized shit. I'm not a fucking comedian. I'm not a drill sergeant telling you, that's another thing, A guy did a video about where people stash their cell phones, man, and guess what? They went in and raided a bunch of cells and busted a bunch of guys with cell phones after that. So I mean, that stuff's not cool, man. It ain't cool. And I'm not going there. Like I used to smuggle tobacco, and I sold tobacco you know, for stamps, and I'd send the stamps to my family. They'd sell the stamps and use the money for whatever, for their needs, or if I needed a package, you know, whatever. I'm not giving up how I smuggled the tobacco in, or how it was sold, or any, you know, it's just something I did. I got busted for it because a bunch of people ratted on me, you know. Jealous motherfuckers that are envious of what you do, you know. I didn't do it to be that guy, you know. I told my cellie one time, rest in peace, Scotty. He passed away after he got out, but he was a good youngster from Orland. And man, I loved him to death. He was stocky, man. He could do pull-ups all day long. He was a good kid and he was tough. And I told him, look, man, being a gangster, it ain't about being that guy, you know. It's about making money. That's the bottom line. You know, it's about making money. If Al Capone could have made millions of dollars without killing people, he probably would have. That's just part of the game he was involved in, and that's what he did, you know. But being, you know, gangster is about making money. It ain't about being that guy. True gangsters, in prison or out, you'll see they're not flapping their lips. They're not on camera from a prison cell. You know, they're low key because it's all about the money. All right. These guys that are interviewing for prison, man, I'm not telling you don't watch them. I'm just telling you, man, it's some BS what they're doing, because they're giving stuff up. And you know what? When I was smuggling tobacco, I was in San Quentin, and these guys came in with suits on, you know, and I'm never shy about approaching staff. I don't give a shit, you know. Information's good to have. So I seen these guys come in the building, you know. I told them, say, hey, you know, who are you guys? They were lieutenants out of Sacramento, but they had suits on. And they told me they're from the Geek Squad. So the Department of Corrections has a Geek Squad in Sacramento. And they're tech guys. And what they do is they monitor the internet, social media. This is what they told me. They go, we monitor social media for guys in prison, not just Facebook, but all social media, email stuff, anything that they think a guy might be using in prison. They monitor it, you know. They're on it. They're not just going to lay back and let guys have cell phones. They got a crew of staff in Sacramento and probably at each prison now that monitor all this shit. And if you think they're not watching that interview with guy in prison, you know, being cool, they're monitoring that, guaranteed. And you know what? They got cell phone blockers in some of these areas. You know, I got a homeboy that lives up by Lake Almanor, up by Susanville. And I was calling him. I was on vacation at Lake Almanor, and I said, hey, man, finally, after 3 days, I got a hold of him at the pad, and I said, man, how come you didn't answer your phone? Well, he was over working by the prison in Susanville. Not directly on prison grounds, but nearby it. And the cell phone blockers there were blocking his signal to his phone. The reason they put them things up is because of these guys doing this shit, exposing game. I mean, it's kind of common knowledge. Cell phones make it in and out of prison, you know. Staff bring them in, whatever. But you know, you're not supposed to broadcast it like that. So, you know, I'm not telling you not to watch certain guys' channels or whatever. All I'm telling you is, guaranteed, that shit's putting heat on people in prison. It's going to make things hard for guys, you know, all in the name of fucking getting some more subscribers. And I don't think it's very cool, you know. You're out here in the world, find a job, find a hustle, without giving up game, man, of what people are doing in there. You know, I don't think that shit's cool. There are some of you guys think it's cool. I don't. You know, cell phones are used for bad shit and good shit. And like I said, you know, yeah, I smuggled tobacco. To me, that was a pretty harmless deal. But I also use it predominantly to talk to my family, to communicate with my family. That was the main purpose of me having, a cell phone. You hear a little noise in the background, that's my pellet stove. It's raining up here where I'm at, a little bit of snow too, so I have a little pellet stove. You know, the in-laws have 2 houses here on the property, man, and they don't want us to have a wood-burning stove, and actually they're kind of messy. So we have a pellet stove, and it's keeping us warm here. So if that's that background noise. Yeah, folks. Another thing I want to tell you, man, is some of these guys for these channels that put it out there like they've done all this stuff. Take it with a grain of salt, man. You know? I'm going to tell you something. Guys go to PC for a reason. S&Y. Back in the day, you know, you had to be stabbed. Or you had to be a big-time rat from a prison gang to get to PC. You couldn't just say, hey, I want to check in. Don't work like that. Now, you can check in whenever you want, I guess. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that these guys just go from being active gang members on the main line to go to S&Y without having to give stuff up. You know, because think about this. These dudes are gang members. They're killing people, stabbing people, involved with drugs, whatever, illegal activities. And all of a sudden they go, hey, I'm tired of this. I want to go to S&Y. It doesn't work like that. Why are you tired of it? Well, probably because their number's coming up. They know that they're in the hat for some reason. They fucked up. Maybe there was some dope around and they shot too much of it. Or they had somebody, they used their little authority to have somebody whacked who shouldn't have got whacked. You know, who didn't have it coming. So the homeboys, you know, their brothers or, you know, whatever, didn't like it. And they know it, so their number's going to come up. Their ticket's going to get punched. You know, that's usually why guys check in, and they don't just get to walk away. Just think about that. If you're a cop, right? You're a prison guard. You're running shit. You're a captain or whatever. You're in a goon squad, or you're a program administrator. You know, dictating who goes to what program. You're going to take a dude who's running around involved with prison violence and illegal activity and just let him walk away and go over where all the victims are? Them dudes in S&Y are victims. I mean, they're potential victims. They're in the hat. They're on the list somewhere. So you can let a guy who's got a list of dudes that need to be whacked just go over there to the guys that are on the list? Doesn't work like that. They got to give something up to go over there. And you know, you just think about that. It's, you know, personally, I don't got nothing for them kind of dudes. You know, I mean, I got some homeboys that checked in, and you know, I don't really hold it against them because they're out here in the world and they're done with prison and they're not acting like they were all that. A couple of them I know are pretty tough motherfuckers. One of them was my road dog. I mean, we beat people down together. I tattooed his whole body. Now he's out here riding motorcycles. He's staying out of prison. You know, he's working, whatever. I mean, you know, he walked away. He wasn't a gang member. I don't have nothing against him personally, guys like that. But guys that check in and then they want to be all that, you should have stayed where you're at. You know, you got scared and ran away, and now you're acting like you're all that again. To me, that just didn't make any sense. You know, I was never all that. I was never a gang member or any of that, you know. So, I mean, you know, I'm just a guy. I did my fucking time, and I'm out. But, you know, these dudes, man, that check in and then act like they're all that, you gotta take that shit with a grain of salt. I'm not saying they ain't tough. I'm not saying that they can't fight, or if they're put in a corner that they won't kill you. But you know, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt, man. Because to me, that I don't know. If I was interested in watching prison channels, I definitely wouldn't watch theirs. You know, because especially interviewing some dude in prison cell, dude, that's just crazy, man. And I guarantee you, the cops are watching that video, and they're gonna find out who that dude is. I guarantee it. I don't know what prison the guy's in. I don't know if he's northerner, southerner, Paisa. I don't know nothing about him. But I guarantee you the cops are going to know about him and they're going to find him. And it's all bad. I don't like people giving up game like that. You know, just think about that. Because there was a case, you know, with prison gang homies, right? They had a route getting cell phones in and shit. I didn't read the whole article, but I know the cops got up on it. They knew the phones were coming in, and they let them get the phones. I don't know if a rat was involved or what, but they bugged all them phones and let them use them for a while, then use the information they got off them phones to build a RICO case against them. All right? You think about that. So that dude's giving up game. I don't give a shit how small it is. You're not supposed to tell the cops nothing. Whether you look at them as adversaries or enemies or whatever, you're not supposed to give them anything. Nothing. You know, so just think about that. When you're watching that guy's video, you're feeding that. You know, you're co-signing that. You're saying, hey, yeah, I want to see more of that. And he's going to continue doing that. You know, I don't dig it. And I'm going to tell you something else. Guys are putting out information like, you know, about dudes that are doing shit in prison, like so-and-so killed his cellie and he's in this gang and this guy went. They don't know them dudes. They don't know them guys at all right? So that's another thing to think about. You know, all this shit, I mean, to me it's like they're just coming up with stories, pretending they're part of something or they know something about something. And, you know, to be honest, I don't think they know a whole lot. And I mean, they know what I know. I mean, I might know a little more than them. They might know a little more than me about certain shit. But the bottom line is some things are common knowledge with convicts and ex-convicts. Depends how far removed you are from the prison system. So when some guy's telling you a story about something that happened in prison recently, and he's been out of prison, chances are, even if he was just got out, he doesn't know that guy. He doesn't know why it happened. He's just speculating. He's creating a story for you, the viewer, who's watching it. So if you want to be fed a bunch of bullshit, keep watching it, you know. But I don't talk about shit I don't know. You know, and I can tell you that one thing this guy was talking about, they call them 50-50 yards now, where they're mixing the yards. They're putting S and Ys in the yard with the GPs, and they're calling them program yards. And I got a phone call from a guy who's on one of them yards. He was a GP guy, never checked in, never been involved with gang. He's been clean the whole time. I put his information up on the YouTube the other day. He's going aboard. He's a lifer. They put him on that yard, and he's trying to get out of prison. I don't fault him for that, but he told me that there's a lot of problems with these yards. You know, there's some S and Ys that don't want to mix, and there's some GPs that don't want to mix, and there's violence. So, you know, it's a sad deal because it's something that the prison system's created. They did this, right? They did this. They're mixing these yards because these S and Y dudes got so big. You know, that's the deal. The story I was told by staff before I got out, that they were going to mix them yards. And the reason they were doing it was them dudes checked in and went to S and Y because they said they don't like politics. They're tired of the politics, right? And then they go over there and start S and Y gangs. I mean, so staff were like, you know what? They just wanted to create yards that are called program yards, bottom line. And so guys who want to program, they can program. And that is, I guess that's what S and Y was supposed to be. Was a place for guys to go program. But because these guys started up gangs in S and Y yards, I guess it's hard to program there. I don't know. I know when I was in Soledad, they would bring them dudes over for medical and keep us separated and shit. Guys would run their mouth like, yeah, PCs and all that stuff. And the cops would say, hey, them dudes put in more work than you guys do. They check paperwork. They don't want yeah, they don't want, they don't let chomos run the yard and all that kind of shit. So, you know, they have gangs over there. And that's not what that program, that S&Y system was supposed to be, a place where there's no gangs and all that, where guys can program. So, anyway, I just wanted to get that out, you know. I use my cell phone to communicate with my family, you know, learn about the world out beyond prison bars, stuff like that. Regardless of what these guys are using their phones for, I don't think doing interviews on YouTube is helping the cause in prison any, right? So you think about that when you're watching that. And now, same dudes doing that are starting to copy my content. I'm gonna tell you something I don't like. A lot of my videos got demonetized, and then we appealed it and they monetized them. You know, there's not really a lot of money in these videos. It's a little bit each day. Depends on your commercials or whatever. The wife's involved with that. But guys would complain about our videos and they would demonetize them. So my thing is, I think these guys with these other channels are complaining about my channel, getting it demonetized, whatever, trying to get it booted off. And in the meantime, using this, trying to do the same content that I'm doing, trying to copy some of the things that I'm talking about on my channel. So, I mean, you know what? If YouTube's your only source of income, you know, hey, whatever. I mean, get a life, dude. Learn a trade, get a job, you know. But, you know, like I said, I don't have any gimmicks. I'm just me. My thing is, I'm an artist. I'm an ex-convict. I did 38 years in prison. And I'm happy to be out here in the world. And I'm happy to communicate with people that watch my channel. Basically, what I like doing is getting information out to the world about how things were. People are curious. So, that's part of why I do it as well. And people seem to enjoy it, and I'm glad. So, basically, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Thank you for watching Hard Intentions YouTube videos. And thank you for getting on my hardintentions.com, buying t-shirts, and you know, we appreciate it very much. All the positive comments we get on the side here, yeah, I'm grateful. My wife's grateful. We dig it. She does all the editing, you know, God bless her, because I sure as hell don't know how to mess with these computers. Yeah, I'm barely able to get this camera on here and do the video while she's at work. So you know, I want to thank you very much. And Justin down in Texas, I hope you're still doing well in the oil patch. We love you guys. Thank you very much. All my Patreon subscribers, thank you very much. And all you people that are watching this, hit that subscribe button. Oh, the wife said to hit notifications, and it'll let you know whenever a video is going to be posted. It'll give you the time and the date that it's going to come up. So, hey, you know, I hate to keep talking about stupid shit, this coronavirus thing, man. Just be safe. Please wash your hands, keep distance, you know, and be safe, you know, take care of your health the hard way, because only you can keep yourself from getting this shit. All right? Take care. Remember, you only live once on this earth that we know of, so do it hard. Make the most of it. Do it the hard way. Yeah, and be smart. Thank you, folks. Bye.